Yes, perfect, F minor. Very good. If you have an F, concert F on the first note, play and hold, then we're going to add the C, and then we're going to add the concert A flat. Okay, here's F, first note, play and hold. And the C. And the A flat. A little more of the F over here. Good. Now let's practice that chord starting right together. Here we go. Just beat one, just the first half note, or dotted half note. See how we're not all starting right together? Breathe very deeply, less tongue, more tone, and push the air all the way to count 4 again. That's so much better. And now the folks that enter on 3, where are you going to release? 2, yeah. Don't release on 1, like some of you were doing. Start on 3, push it across the bar line, slight crescendo, release on count 2, same thing over and over. Good, here we go at the top. Say yes. I'm kidding. But avoid you reading in some weird places, okay? So eyes up, watch me, I'm going to help you out. All right, raise your hand if you can hear the clarinet and the oboe. I'm looking for hands in the back row. Good. If you cannot, back it down just a little bit. There's no dynamic marking in this movement really above piano. And so everything has to be leveled down some. So even the beginning needs to be much, much more delicate when you start. All right, at the top again. Control. Find 18, back before 18, 17, 16, 15. Ready? Upbeats to 15. That's the last little phrase. With the upbeat and 3. So that's just a slight break right there. Right? It's not a release, breathe, play. Fermata, dee da da. Just feel a slight lift on that note. Can we energize the eighth notes more when you have dotted quarter eighth, right? Oboe in the solo, and then same thing in the flutes when you guys come in. All right, same spot. Here's 15 with that beat. Good, good. Opposite of what's written probably on your part. As the eighth note descend, let's crescendo. As they ascend, float to the top. You've heard that before, yeah? Cool? This is right at 18, just the moving eighth note, so no melody whatsoever. If you have any sort of parts of it like 4 and 1 and 2, you play as well. And push to the bottom, push to the top. Cool. 18, just the eighth notes. 1, 2, and together, and yeah, even more. So when you come in right on 18, start at a volume where you can crescendo all the way to the bottom of that. Yes, here we go at 18 again, right on it. 2, and set. And oh, that's okay. I forgive you. 18, set, and or float. Now push. Float. So as this continues, focus more on what we're asking you to do, which is the crescendo to the bottom and float to the top. Take one of those, for example. When you are pushing to lower notes, and then you have a rest, and then you start on the same pitch, that should be the same volume you just had, right? Yeah, so don't start softer than you ended the crescendo, if that makes sense. Okay, now let's add the melody. So all parts at 18. And keep doing that, it makes a huge difference. Go on 18. So once we start a little rubato in this, it becomes much more difficult. So you really have to watch and move and listen across. Raise your hand if you have the melody at 18. Nice and high so we can see. Good. Listen for those people. Nice and high so we can see. Listen for those people. The eighth note stuff underneath, you can start a bit more and then back down globally when the melody comes in right there. Trumpets, can we take you please? And trombones, tenor sax, yeah, no first cornet, but second and then all the trumpet parts, right at 18, so you have a bar of rest. Here we go, set those people, and 1, 2, push to 4. It's very important. Right? That's the foundation that locks the harmony in the arpeggios that are going on above. You must start right together. Think of what we were doing with the woodwinds on the very first note of the piece. It's the same thing that they were doing. Deep breath, support, less tongue, more tone. Start and release together. Start on 1, release on 4, full value. Every release, guys, in this movement should be a little bit later than you think it needs to be. Does that make sense? Say yes? It's okay for talk, yeah, say yes. So push it a little bit past where you think that release point would normally be. Good, here's 18. All right, I'm going to start you, I'm going to stop conducting, but I'm going to motion the dynamics of the arpeggio. And melody just play on top of that. All right, hold it together by listening. Here we go at 18, set, and...
melody?
Yes. It will be a slight lift.
Okay.
Very, very slight. Because really that F is the end of the previous phrase.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So not on the dot like we normally do, but just a very slight lift. That goes for the oboes as well right there. Cool? All right, now, one more time, 18, we'll finish out the movement, but we're really going to pull with the tempo. So make sure that you're watching and have a lot of fun with it. Melody people, don't be afraid to sing out tons of vibrato. Yes? Cool, here we go, 18. Raise your stand if you need to, but look above that so that you can see. Cool? All right, one more time, 18. Slight lift after that, and then time enough to breathe, right? And then come right back. Woo! Pitch. Yup. All right. So those notes, have a look at that. Make sure you know what to do to adjust. What was that? D flat, G, B flat. And I think it's that maybe your note too, the E flat. Okay. All right. Cool. Find. Do you have the fermata measure? You got that? That's 32. Back up 31. 30. Got it? Play and hold the downbeat at 30. And listen to it. Set and hold. And that's what we need. When you have these suspensions, slightly dissonant, embrace that. Don't hide from that. All right? And we'll take some time to balance that. Let's start on that. Let's start one measure before that. So this will be what, 29? All right, and we'll finish it out. Here's 2-9. Yeah, go. I can use it. So yeah, that's a little better, but it's just not great. Mr. Rose, we may need to thin that out a little bit. We don't need everybody squeaking on those. Cool. All right, upbeats to 33. Make it easy. Here we go. And ready? 3. Did not have a fermata at the last measure. It was just an eighth. You know? And Fennell, who edited this, decided to hold it longer. It's up to Mr. Rose what he wants to do. I think it's quarter note, half note, somewhere in there is really nice. So it just fades away. Now all these are arpeggiated lines here. Clarinet, saxophone, and then euphonium tuba. Do what we did earlier in the piece. Right? Push at the bottom and float when you go up. Right, same thing on the upbeats to 33. And 3. Support. Nice. Thank you. Let's get up the march.